Welcome, I'm Kira Miller for Hempfield Happenings. This month's show is extra special. It's our 400th show. We take a look at what's taught in the classes, what the class looks like, and more. But first, let's dive into the history of how it all started.
Welcome to Hempfield Happenings, the weekly student-produced cable TV show about the events in the Hempfield School District.
Hempfield Happenings has been a staple in the Hempfield community for almost 25 years. This very episode marks the 400th show. Hempfield Happenings was created by Susan Dorman in 1997 as a weekly news show that aired for 30 minutes on Comcast Channel 18.
And as I looked at other schools, some of them had cable programs in the community. And I watched some of them, and I thought, my students are just as talented, they can do that too. And so in 1997, I asked some of the principals and the department chair, and Mr. Greer came with me, and we had a big table, and we presented the idea of doing a community show featuring the work of our students. And in the beginning, there was only 2 students in the show. And so Mr. Greer did packages, I did a lot of shooting and did some packages, and the community relations director, Jessie Long, she did packages. And then it just sort of grew from there as more students were interested in it, and the community was able to see it.
Since the start of the show, many things have changed.
I think a lot of the things have remained the same. The importance of telling the stories that go on in the district. The technology is one of the biggest things that has changed, because in the beginning we didn't have any digital editing. So we used VHS tapes, and we had what was called an AD roll system. So you'd put one tape in one machine and one tape in the other, and then you could transfer footage from one to the other. But if you pushed the wrong button and made a mistake, you'd get a glitch and you'd ruin the whole tape and you'd have to start all over again.
Through the years, Hempfield Happenings has impacted many people. Joey White graduated from Hempfield in 2016. He shares the impact the show had on him.
Yeah, one of the things that I liked about Comtech, and one of the things that I'll always appreciate Mr. Bender and Mr. Greer for, was that when you're in those programs, there's never anyone who tells you that you can't do what you want to do. I think one of the most important things that you can do for people when they're in high school is give them a dream, or allow them to dream as big of a dream as they possibly can.
Because of Hempfield Happenings, students have a leg up in college and their future careers. Danielle Zolkowski, a 2018 graduate, is a perfect example of this.
Yeah, so I'm a reporter in Green Bay, Wisconsin currently, so I have to have a hard news story every day, and Hempfield Happenings really helped me to learn how to do things quickly and how to edit, and give me that good base of, editing and shooting and writing. Obviously, in Hempfield Happenings, you get a lot of time, but there I had such a strong knowledge base on how to edit that I can sit down at 8 or 9 p.m. and still have an entire package ready for air at 10.
One of the greatest things for me, a memory flashback, is when I hear the music for Hempfield Happenings, because it's the same music, the non-copyrighted music that we picked in 1997. And I hear it, and it just brings a smile to my face, because it reminds me of all the years. So I think that's really cool. The people are different, the stories are similar, the technology is better, but it's the same tradition being carried on. So that's really neat.
After 400 shows, Hempfield Happenings grew into something that nobody ever thought it would. From Hempfield Happenings, I'm Grace Monis.
I'm here where it all started, with the person who started it all, Jessie Long.
Hi, Kira.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So, if you could just take me back a little bit to how it all started and the idea and how it flourished.
The idea was to have a communications center or television studio in the renovations for the high school. So in the early 90s, when we were renovating and tearing the high school apart and gutting it, the idea was to build a studio. Mrs. Susan Dorman was integral to that because she wanted to teach the course. And I was involved only because I was district communications and community relations director. So I wanted to have that kind of thing for the district to use. So between the two of us, it was a team effort to get things going.
How did it turn from like a studio into Hempfield Happenings and reaching other people?
The first year that we had the course, we had 2 students working with us. And so both Mrs. Dorman and I had to find time to go and shoot video of a variety of different things. And I spent sometimes 2 or 3 hours a day doing that. And I enjoyed it, but I had never had any training in it, so I was learning with the kids. But we decided that a magazine show was the format that we wanted to use, and so we did a half-hour weekly magazine show, and we filled it with stories about Hempfield. At this time, we were getting lots of coverage from the news channels, but not the way we wanted it, and we had lots of stories to tell about our kids, and so it was great to be able to tell them in our own way.
We have a pretty nice-sized crew now. There's like 5 or 6 people. What was it like doing it with 1 or 2 people?
It was hectic, and it was hard on them, and it was a lot more work for them, obviously, because, you know, between Mrs. Dorman and myself, you know, and then eventually Mr. Greer, we were all working in different capacities. I might have, you know, been on the prompter, I might have been on the camera, you know, depending on what needed to be shot, if we did an in-house interview, or the editing. But it was all done in a tiny space. We've expanded the area that now Hempfield Happenings and the communications program uses.
How did you get to expand with funding and actually making it happen?
There were a variety of different ways. WGL initially was really helpful, and so was Dr. Bill Dorman from Millersville University, and they helped a great deal in getting us started. And once we were started, we depended on the funding from the school district, but also we depended on some foundation, Hempfield Foundation funding, which we got, you know, through my involvement in the foundation. We were in trouble at a couple different places when budget became impossible, and they were having trouble funding the studio and keeping the program going. And so that's where the Hackman family got involved, and we approached Barbara Hackman. Barbara Hackman then gave us a rather large sum of money that saved the program, and the rest is kind of history. If
you could go back in time and do anything different, would you do anything different?
It would have been nice to pre-plan in a little bit different way. Certainly when we started, we didn't know how many different changes there would be in the way to take video and the way to edit it and all of those kinds of things, and that happened very quickly. And we did big TV cameras that were heavy with 8 tracks, and then we went from that to digital, and it changed everything. We didn't have very many cameras to start. We didn't have a lot of editors. It was difficult. But the kids learned, and a lot of our students are doing very, very well in communications across the country. Great jobs from their experience here at Hempfield.
Well, I, on behalf of everybody here, would like to say a really big thank you for doing what you did, and now we have this amazing program here. So.
Well, I wish you much success, and I hope it all works out.
Yes, thank you for being here today.
The CommTech program at Hempfield consists of 7 different classes and 5 curriculums. The first being CommTech 1. This is where students are taught how to use a camera, edit, and the basics of filmmaking and story making. At the end of the semester, they even get to come into the TV studio and do their own practice news show. The next class is CommTech 2. These are the students that you see on the announcements every single day. They are each assigned a job that could be the switcher, the director, the audio, the graphics, the script, the anchor, or the floor manager, and they all work together every day to produce a 6-minute or less news show. And after about 2 weeks, they rotate the jobs and start all over again to learn something new. CommTech 3 and 4 is a collaborative class that puts together the monthly Hempfield Happening news packages. Each month, the student is assigned a story and they go out, shoot, interview, and edit the entire thing by themselves, and at the end of the month, all of their stories come together and form the monthly show. CommTech 5 and 6 is where things start to get a little bit different. Each student has a list to choose from of different cores. Some examples are executive producer of the morning show, journalism, film, our social media manager, or even a weekly YouTube show. This allows students to discover what they really want to work on and perfect it. Finally is the independent classes, where the student creates a contract with the teacher that lists out all the assignments they're going to do for the semester. These can range from a short documentary to a multitude of music videos. CommTech is more than what you see on the announcements. There's really something for everyone. From Hempfield Happenings, I'm Ava Campbell.
You've seen what our studio looks like in front of the camera, but we rarely show what's behind it. There's much more than meets the eye. Here's Ryan Webb with a tour of our studio space.
Hello, my name's Ryan Webb, and today I'm going to take you on a quick tour through our studio and other workspaces here at CommTech. Let's go. So in here's our studio. This is the main space that we use to record all of our hosting for our Hempfield Happening episodes. Inside of the studio, we have 3 different sets that we can use for hosting. First up here is our desk. Now the desk set has been changed many times over the years, and every single time it gets changed, it's entirely student run. So this set was most recently changed back in 2020 by that graduating class. And as you can see here, it looks pretty nice nowadays. So over here we have the stage set. Now this set was most recently renovated by the graduating class of 2022, my class. So the stage set is used a lot of the times. We have chairs, we have a couch, we also have potted plants and whatnot to really spruce up the set. As you can see here, we have all these shelves back here that whoever is using the set, they can change the decorations to suit whatever they want. Finally, over here we have the green screen. Now the green screen doesn't get used as much for Hempfield Happenings. However, sometimes we have used it in the past to set up a virtual set for our hosts to sit at. And that's really nice because it allows a lot of creative freedom for what the set is going to look like. So right here we have our light board. This is used to change all the lights in the studio. So we have these big spotlights over the top to light up our hosts and other people on air. So if we look here on the news set, you can turn the lights on and off. As well as the news set, we have these LEDs in the background, so you can change what color is being shown in the back. So here we have the cameras that we use here in the studio for our hosts. And right here on the front of the camera, you can see we have a TV screen that is connected up there to the control room on our teleprompter computer. And basically what that does is it displays the script and it mirrors it onto the camera screen so the host can look directly at the screen and they can have a running script going by to tell them what they need to say. Also, on the back of all of our cameras, we have these headsets so that the person that is running the camera can directly talk to the person that's the director of the control room. Speaking of the control room, here is the control room. So in here we have several different computers and they all serve a different function. First up here we have the switcher board. Now the switcher board, the person that sits here can control which camera is being shown live on the broadcast at what time. Right here is our teleprompter computer. Now this computer is the one I was talking about earlier. This is the one that you can transport the script onto the front of the camera so that the host can see it running. Right here's the audio board. The person that sits here is the one that's in charge of making sure that the audio levels on our host mics and all of the features that we play stay level at all times and don't end up clipping and causing audio issues. And then right here is usually where the director sits. As you can see, we have another headset. This is the one that is attached to the microphones down there, so that the person that is directing can directly communicate with the people behind the cameras. As well, we have this right here. We call this the God box, which if you press this button, it transmits your voice loudly throughout the entire studio, so no need for headphones at that point. Moving on, in here we have our equipment room. This is the place that students can sign out all kinds of equipment that they need to create their features. So we have things like cameras, we have tripods, we have different wireless microphones, we have all kinds of equipment, anything that you may really need to create a feature. Now the most important thing is the camera. So right here is one of the cameras that we use to make our news features. They're called NX cams. They're these very big and bulky cameras when you look at them, but they really do get the job done. They're very good for creating features. So in here is our editing lab. This is the place that students can come in to finish editing up their features, as well as the hosts can come in here to put together the complete final show, because hosts are the ones that are responsible for importing their hosting clips as well as everybody's features and putting them together into a finished product. So every student in the class gets their own hard drive as well as SD card. The SD card is used to record the clips on the cameras, and then we take those SD cards and we bring it back to the computers and we transfer those clips onto our hard drives. Now the hard drives are what we use to edit off of, so nothing is kept on the computer permanently. It's all on your own personal hard drive. Speaking of computers, here we have the computers that we use to edit our videos. They're these iMac editing desktop computers, and the program that we use to edit is called Adobe Premiere Pro. Now Premiere Pro is the industry standard editing software for film and news editing. so we really are up to date here in our program. Thank you for joining me on my studio tour. I hope you learned a little bit about our program behind the scenes, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Ryan Webb.
In our next story, Lizzie Pegg went to talk to Hempfield's alumni about their recognition in the CommTech Hall of Fame.
Jessie Long and Megan Yoder are just two Hempfield alumni pictured here at our CommTech Program's Hall of Fame. This ensemble honors graduates and past employees of Hempfield that have made an impact on our CommTech program as a whole and the students in it. Jack Rule is a former student who followed through CommTech for 4 years after taking CommTech 1 in his freshman year. Following his graduation in 2017, Jack was inducted into our Hall of Fame 3 years later in 2020. I had the chance to talk with him about his progress over the years and his recent induction.
I was inducted into the CommTech Hall of Fame, I think 2020. I think I got an email from Binder asking to talk, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'd love to. And Binder doesn't normally communicate over the phone, so I knew it was probably something special. And he called me to let me know I'd been inducted, and it was a really cool moment because it was nice to hear Binder's voice, but that's kind of how I found out. I was really encouraged about getting inducted because when I was in Hempfield, all I really wanted to do was make an impact on the people around me, and CommTech was kind of the way that I thought, oh, I can impact people right here, whether it's in the editing lab or pitching ideas, whatever it was, collaborating. That was the way I found I could help people the most. So after I left high school and graduated and moved to California, I wanted to keep doing that, but in the way I thought alumni could. So for me, I was really encouraged when I got inducted into the Hall of Fame because that, to me, felt like y'all saying, hey, thank you for still caring about us. I wanted to learn how to be the best storyteller possible, and I'm very thankful for all the courses I went through because each one taught me a different aspect of myself as well as my storytelling ability. Because I think I've always been a storyteller, but Hempfield gave me the tools to be able to communicate and build upon those skills.
Miss Susan Dorman is a Hempfield retiree in our Hall of Fame, receiving a Founders Award along with her 2017 induction. I had a few words with her about what this recognition means to her.
It means to me that Hempfield is continuing the legacy of what I started in 1993. And that feels really good to watch generations of students come through and watch them grow and see what happens. And to have been a part of that is really important to me because when you leave, sometimes you don't know if everything will be changed or if they'll get rid of a whole program. And they haven't. And being recognized for what we started and to see what has continued has meant a lot to me as I look back on my career.
We've been honoring important people who've contributed to the success of our program in the Hall of Fame since 2013, and we'll continue to thank those who gave us these incredible opportunities. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Lizzie Pegg.
WCMS is another part of communication technologies that give middle school students a chance to learn more about what it takes to run a news show. Dylan Daisy went to talk to one of the students, now teacher, who was a part of the first show.
Here in the WCMS studio, students learn to make a news show each and every day. One of the first people to be a part of this news show is named Mrs. Martzel, who is now a Centerville Elementary School 4th grade teacher. Mrs. Martzel went into a little bit more detail about her time at WCMS.
WCMS started with Mr. Bender at Centerville Middle School. I was part of the audio announcements, so we spoke into the microphone for the school to hear. And then Mr. Bender had an idea to be able to have video announcements. So I was just part of that first crew that started kind of downstairs by the auditorium. We had this little small room that we were a part of, that we just started with a table and some chairs and one camera. I was able to use that experience to, obviously I'm not a news broadcaster, but I was able to use that experience now that I'm a teacher. I'm in front of an audience all day long of 4th graders, so I'm just able to use that now in the classroom.
A few current WCMS students had a few words to say about the program.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I learned how to do graphics, which I've never done, but made like my creative side come out a little bit. Like if you wanted to become like a news anchor when you're older, I think this is like a great thing to start, because especially with news anchoring, like everyone does everything. Like there might be people who have the specific job, but you're also gonna help out in some cases. So I think like if you really want to be a news anchor, you can like help anchor. If you want to go into technology, there's so many opportunities for that. So
it can teach you like many opportunities, from like how to work a camera, how to do graphics, how to Photoshop, and that's really important if someone needs it.
WCMS still teaches students past and present valuable life lessons. For Hempfield Happenings
and for WCMS, I'm Patrick
Dylan Daisy.
Christoffel.
While summer is a popular time for family trips and personal vacations, the students in the CommTech program travel to national competitions and conferences throughout the year. Senior Autumn Rhodes took a brief look at where our students have visited.
Hempfield has a one-of-a-kind communication technology program, and it has certainly made its mark on the world.
In the past 10 years, HSDTV7 has traveled to over 11 states. We have attended 11 Student Television Network conventions, from California to DC to Florida, and attended 2 ASB 4-state competitions in Missouri, where we won 4 regional awards. With those trips, we have won numerous awards and had the ability to tour colleges, like West Virginia and Penn State University, where we now have filmmakers. Additionally, we have had many filmmakers make travels to receive film awards and recognitions, like the Golden Lion Film Festival in Ohio or the All-American Film Festival in New York City. We didn't just stay in the U.S., but even got the opportunity to filmmake in Russia through DPTV. With every visit, we have made new friends, new skills, and incredible memories to last a lifetime. For Hempfield Happenings, I'm Autumn Rhodes.
The CommTech program is full of fun facts that most people don't know. Gunnar Main sat down with 3 CommTech students to play a short trivia game about the program.
Hello, my name is Gunnar Main, and welcome to the Hempfield Happenings Show 400 CommTech Trivia Show. In this game, contestants will have 20 seconds to write their answer to each question on the provided whiteboards. Each correct answer counts as 1 point, and the questions will be covering random facts about CommTech, so we'll really see who knows the program. Let's meet the contestants.
Hi, I'm Darian Rivard.
Hi, I'm Vince Wazotsky.
And I'm Ryan Webb.
All right, thank you guys for coming out. And let's start the show. So, for the first question, we'll go a little easy. How many different CommTech classes are there? And your time starts now. Everyone's ready? Okay, that was pretty quick. Okay, let's see your guys' answers. So Darian said 8, Vince said 6, and Ryan said 7. And the correct answer is 7 different classes. CommTech 8 is not technically a class, so Ryan receives 1 point. Question 2. How many people are currently in the CommTech Hall of Fame? And your time starts now. And when you come into CommTech every morning, the members of the Hall of Fame are in picture frames out in the hallway by the display cases. So if you're paying attention, you will get this answer correct. Now let's see the answers. Darian said 17, Vince said 15, and Ryan said 28. And the correct answer is 17 people are in the CommTech Hall of Fame.
Man.
So Darian wins this point.
That was a guess.
Wait, how many?
17. And he got it on the dot.
Oh, nards.
Question number 3. How many national STN convention awards, only including first, second, and third place, has Hempfield won? And remember that the closest answer wins.
Is this ever?
Ever.
No honorable mentions.
Only first, second, and third. Your time starts now. Alrighty. Everyone reveal their boards. Darian said 12, Vince said 7, and Ryan said 10, and the correct answer is 7 awards. So Vince gets a point. It is getting close, guys. Excuse me. Everybody has 1 point. So this is getting real. Alrighty.
Let's go.
And for the final question, arguably the hardest one, how many episodes of the WHHS morning show are there as of today? And the closest answer wins. Your time starts now.
Can you repeat the question?
Of course. How many episodes of the WHHS morning show are there as of today? And the closest answer wins. I'll give you 5 extra seconds to be generous. All right. Everybody reveal their boards. Darian said 4,150. Vince said 650. And Ryan said 4,096. Now the answer is 4,107. So it looks like Ryan takes the point.
Let's go!
And that leaves Ryan as our victor with 2 points. Vince has 1 point and Darian has 1 point. So Ryan, how do you feel knowing that you've won the Hempfield Happenings Show 400 CommTech Trivia Show?
Feels fantastic, honestly. It was a very well-fought game. I don't think Vince agrees with me. He looks a little heartbroken over his loss here. But you know, it was a lot of fun. So, put her there.
Yeah, have good sportsmanship.
Good job, Ryan. You did such a good job.
Thank you, Vince. Thank you, Darian.
Good job.
Alrighty. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this short trivia segment, and thank you to all the contestants for playing. And I hope you're enjoying the show so far. Now back to Kira.
Here are some things that happened this month. The girls lacrosse team won against Township 7-5 May 5th. The girls carried their success into the postseason. Congrats on a great end to the season. At our elementary schools, Field Day was a wonderful opportunity for students to go outside and participate in fun activities with their peers at the end of the year. And a quick shout out to the teachers retiring this year. Thank you for what you've done for the school and creating a good environment. School Lunch Hero Day was May 6th. Hempfield gave a special shout out to all the food service teams across the district. From preparing food, watching out for allergies, and much more, they are true heroes. National School Nurse Day was May 11th. We honor Hempfield's nurses and thank you for keeping the students and staff safe. Tuesday, May 10th, the Unified Track team traveled over to McCaskey and competed in the league meet. It was an end to another successful season for Unified Track. The bowling team is traveling this month to Nationals for the first time in Hempfield history. We look forward to hearing about your success and good luck. May 5th, 50 CMS students had the opportunity to interact with dogs and volunteers from K-Pets in the library during Flex. It was a great time to unwind after PSSAs. Miss Dickinson's Spanish class from LMS read books in Spanish to 4th and 5th graders at LIC. Thank you for sharing with these students. And that wraps up our 400th show. Though it's summer, we'll be back next month with a brand new episode. From Hempfield Happenings, I'm Kira Miller.